Our last speaker of this session is Puneet Vaghela. And hi, Puneet. He's head of
Hey,
innovation at
Barris.
Adzooma because this is a new business session, and we got Puneet here because to win new business, you need innovative products. You need something new to sell as well. So Puneet's going to talk to us about how Adzooma can help. Over to you, Puneet.
Thank you so much, Barris. And thank you to everyone at AGE for the opportunity to speak today. All the speakers that have gone so far, absolutely fantastic. Some really good information there. Jody, I think I'm definitely a thinker during the day, and then after a few glasses of wine, I'm probably going to end up becoming a promoter. So I definitely see that hybrid there. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning to a lot of you. Good afternoon, good evening. I feel like so far of all the speakers, I'm probably the only person who's actually eaten lunch, so I'm probably a bit more tired than everyone else. But today I'm actually going to speak to you about the blending of PPC and SEO, and it's one of the things and one of the reasons why I actually joined Adzooma 3 years ago. So as Barris mentioned, I'm the head of innovation at Adzooma. My predominant role is helping with the development of the platform and helping our customers to understand their marketing needs, as well as then helping them with any troubleshooting, any issues they come across, and making sure that Adzooma's in the right place to help them with their digital marketing. But really focusing on PPC and SEO. So we've heard the speakers so far talk about how to make profitability in your agency, how to make money, how to get those sales in, how to kind of get the right people in the right stage. However, once you get to that position, you then also need to understand how to actually get the teams to do the job they're supposed to do, and do you have the right strategy in place? One of the reasons that I actually joined Adzooma 3 years ago was because the innovation they were showing and where they wanted to go was beyond any other tech company that I spoke to. And really, through my time at agencies, one of the things I really learned was the importance of having cross-channel strategies, one of which is obviously PPC and SEO. So my background is, so I started off doing SEO and then carried on onto PPC. My last role before I left agency land to actually join Adzooma, I was the head of search, working across both the PPC and SEO teams. And that's kind of where my passion really grew a lot more between the two channels. Now, I haven't got a presentation today. I've been told many a time that my presentations are dull, boring, and far too detailed. So I thought just before Christmas, I don't want to bore anyone. So you're just going to have my face on screen for the next few minutes. But the main thing I really want you guys to take away from this are 3 areas that we really believe are important when you want to blend PPC and SEO. I'm going to talk about them in more detail, but just remember, number 1 is keyword unearthing. So this is where we go into a bit more detail rather than top level stuff. Number 2 is efficient positioning. And number 3 is sharing data and information. And I'll go into a bit more detail about those. So number 1, we talk about keyword unearthing. What is that? That's basically the ability to actually use paid search to start discovering and identifying keywords that you want to then optimize for SEO. Those of you who know PPC and SEO, you'll know that when you do any SEO, it does take time to actually see results. Your main aim is to increase rankings, get organic traffic through to your site, improve the site from a technical perspective. But all of that does take time. You're reliant on Google crawling or other search engines crawling your site quickly, which doesn't always happen. And you're also reliant on, if you're building backlinks or getting links to other sources, and those coming through at different times. As well as that, you have to obviously build up your content, and that does take time as well, especially with the amount of content people are creating now and putting out there on the web. So a good way to actually understand what keywords work for you, rather than just using SEO and just trying to figure out if I optimize for X and Y, and then having to wait a few months before you see the results, you can actually then look into your PPC account, see what's actually working well based on your main KPIs, and then start telling the SEO teams exactly which keywords are the most profitable and which ones they should be going after from an optimization perspective. Second thing I mentioned was efficient positioning. Now, efficient positioning really relates to how you can save money or rather than save money, reinvest money from keywords that you don't technically need to be spending on from PPC perspective. A lot of people will, and a lot of practitioners, they will happily go out, spend money on keywords because they're showing from a last click perspective that they're bringing through revenue or sales or orders or clicks. Now, that's not always going to be the best way to use the budget, although it might be profitable to an extent. How can you maximize that profitability? Well, if you then look at where your organic rankings are for the same keywords that you're targeting from PPC, you can then start to understand how much traffic you're getting from organic, and then how is that cannibalizing your PPC traffic? Oh, sorry, the other way around. How is your PPC traffic cannibalizing what you could be getting for free through organic? There's different tools out there. We're looking at building something through ourselves that can help you identify what your SEO rankings are, what you're paying from CPC perspective, and then you can go and figure out where you need to actually be spending your money. For instance, I'll give you a quick example. If you're in a cake shop and you're targeting keywords around chocolate cake, you might also be organically ranking #1 for that. However, your CPCs for those, because there's so much competition, are up at to $2, $3, $4. So your CPAs are high and your ROAS, or return on investment, isn't being maximized. You can then reduce your CPCs, or you can even pause the keywords and test and see what is the fall in profit, what is the fall in my overall revenue to the site, and then determine if it's worth you actually bidding on those keywords or not. If it is, continue, because some keywords will be too competitive for just your organic to rely on. If it's not, then there's a saving that you can make that you can then reinvest into other areas, other more competitive terms, or even branch out into other channels. And the third one we can talk about is the sharing of data and information. So this is really around how you can quickly test different content, especially for your SEO. One of the most important aspects of SEO is metadata, making sure that your page titles, descriptions are up to scratch, that they're relevant to the keywords that you want to rank for. And so, however, as I mentioned before, from an SEO perspective, trying to test these and see what's working, what's not, can take a long time. From a PPC perspective, with the number of characters you can now use across paid ads, it allows you to now put content that you want to test for titles and descriptions into PPC ads, test them quickly, put a small amount of budget behind them, get a few impressions in, see what the click-through rates are, see what's working best from a conversion rate perspective, and then you can then take that and simply plug it in as your metadata, and that is what will appear on the SERP. This is just a quick, easy way for you to get really good results and get good impact rather than having to wait for a long, long time. From a overall PPC and SEO perspective, I mean, those are just the 3 key terms that we found. There's plenty more other strategies that you can use between the 2 channels, which you can read about a bit more within the handbook. But from me and from Adzooma, I think the last thing I would really want to leave you with is just make sure that you have a great day today. I think it's really important with the speakers that are speaking today, and they're covering so many different aspects, that you want to take little nuggets from each one that are really going to help both your agency and also your clients. We know how hard it is right now with inflations, not only across the world, but also in digital marketing, making it more expensive really for you to try and get the performance that you need. So take away as much information as you can today. There's loads of useful information within the handbook. Here at Adzooma, we're doing our best to make sure that we're building the best platform for marketers out there. We've got an exciting partnership coming up in the new year, which I'm sure you're going to all be able to read about and talk about next year. That will definitely go a long way to helping you with your cross-channel efficiencies. But for me, I've been Puneet from Adzooma, and I want to wish you all a wonderful day. Have a terrific time with all the speakers, and probably not going to speak to you guys again. So have a wonderful Christmas and New Year.